So what I'll do is we are now entering the Q&A realm. The question that I asked the community, and we're about to get into their answers. And the question that I'm also asking the fellow hosts are, what are your favorite games and accessories you have for the Nintendo Switch? That's it.
Favorite games currently, Tetris 99, and probably I've enjoyed playing that Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 with my kid. I like Mario Maker 2. I haven't played a lot of it lately. It was fun to play user levels and stuff, though. I like that a lot, and I know I'll be playing more of that in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much my current favorite stuff.
Well, I've been playing like nothing but Ultimate in general, so that would by default be my favorite. I got Bayonetta 2 and beat it, so that game's really good. It also looks really good on the Switch. I was surprised. I also play a lot of the Jackbox games because since the Switch is so portable, it's easy to just load that up and have everyone play.
How does that work if it's not connected to the internet though? Like,
oh, it has to be connected to the internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's the only part I could care less about with the Jackbox games. But I mean, 9
Could
times
you
out of 10.
hotspot it then?
Yeah,
Okay.
it just might be a little bit laggy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could definitely do that because all it needs is internet, so you can get the server code from Jackbox and then connect to it with your phone.
Right.
Some underrated games though are Captain Toad, the treasure tracker, really good, just chill game.
See, I had that for Wii U. Is it pretty much the same game?
Yeah, I think they just included some more levels, and I think they have paid DLC now, and you can actually co-op online, which is cool. I got Duck Game. I played that. It's really, really good. They worked so fucking long on that to bring it over because obviously it was on PC for a long time, and then they announced it. I think it was within the first year or two that the Switch was out, that it was coming to Switch, and then something happened while they were porting it to where they had to pretty much restart. And just within the past couple months it released, and it's actually really, really good. The one of the more recent ones that have come out that isn't really getting talked about a lot, and I have no room to talk about it because I only have the demo. But the demo was really fun. Was Box Boy and Box Girl. It's like a puzzle platforming type game, but it's really like simple in the look of it. It's all like black and white, and it's really cool to play. I think that's it. Yoshi's Crafted World I haven't played enough. That game's really fun too, because you can play through levels and then there's like different objectives where you can go back to the same levels, play like the flip side of it, and get yarn balls or something, and that's really fun too. That's really all I can think of. I do want to play the Super Nintendo game soon though.
Yeah, Super Nintendo. You guys both went. You're all good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have quite a few accessories, and I'm more excited about the accessories than I am the games, just because I've been just going hard in it. So the first thing that is probably my favorite is this replacement Nintendo Switch dock that makes it 90% smaller and also portable. The catch is that you have to take all of the innards out of. Did they release another version?
RIP.
Oh shit! Did they? Wait a minute. What's the name of this company? Cahool? No, this isn't it. That's not the one that I'm looking for.
Very cool.
There it is. Okay. So obviously, audio listeners, you're kind of shit out of luck, but this is the new Nintendo Switch dock that I have, and it pretty much mounts like this, and then it sits on the desk like that. I just brought this to St. Louis with me, and actually everything Switch-wise I brought with me in this Amazon Basics hard case. Very solid case, kind of bulky. I did fit it in my backpack, and it was my carry-on, one of my 2 carry-ons, so it worked pretty good. So if you are feeling spicy enough to take apart your Nintendo Switch dock and put it into here, there are tiny ribbon cables that you need to insert into new connectors, and that can kind of be scary. I don't think it was that difficult. I would say 0 out of 10 difficulty, it was like a 4 or a 5. But if you're
How
handy
long
with
did it
taking,
take?
probably less than half an hour, like 20 minutes maybe. What's crazy is that you can see how tiny this is compared to the Nintendo Switch. The electronics take up the entirety of this case. And so when you compare that to the new dock, it's like 90% plastic and 10% PCB and connectors, which is, I always thought was funny.
Now, does it have the same amount of USB ports on it?
Yep, 2 USB 2 on one side, the USB 3, USB Type C, USB 3, and then HDMI on the other side. When it's not docked, this case, like, it obviously slides around on the desk because there's no weight to it whatsoever. But when it's docked, it doesn't move around at all, and it's pretty nice. So I like it for that. Other than this Amazon Basics case, I also have this Pokédex cartridge holder, which it's a super like shitty lightweight sheet metal case, but it works really well for what it is. So I don't really give a shit. The thing that I was most excited about is this stand that I got, and I wanted something that I could fold up and take with me onto the plane that would always make, like, I wanted the ability to put the Switch at any angle that I chose instead of being restricted to the angle that the Nintendo Switch shitty kickstand kind of holds you onto. So this Switch goes into the stand like this, and it's weighted. It's all metal. It's got rubber feet, and you can kind of put the Switch at whatever angle you want, and it's super freaking sturdy. Perfect for the plane. So if you find yourself taking your Switch on the plane, this thing is the bomb. I got it on Amazon, less than $20. The brand is Lamical, NLAMICALL or OLL. But if you search, Nintendo Switch stand and you see something that looks like this, that's it. I think that's kind of it for accessories. Obviously, for games, Breath of the Wild has been up on the top. I've been streaming that game for 11 or 12 streams. Not too crazy about some of the menu systems that they have and the controls at which you access your inventory and weapons. I find it kind of clunky. I don't know if you guys have the same problem I do, where you're in a menu and you press left on a joystick and it goes, did it? And it like ricochets back and forth. I don't know if I just have a shitty Pro controller.
I was gonna say, if you were using Joy-Cons, that would be very common.
Okay, well, Joy-Cons suck the dickus.
I've never heard of that happening with the Pro controller though.
Okay, yeah, it's really, really bad for me.
I never had that issue, but okay. I agree with what you're saying. There is some clunkiness to the UI in that game.
Yeah.
And you do have to spend a lot of time in the menus because by nature of all the items and the crafting and everything else. So, and it was funny because I was one of your most recent streams. You were playing that might have been this weekend actually. Was it play on Saturday?
Yes, Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. So I noticed I was looking at your Overland map, and you said you've streamed it now like 11 or 12 times, and you still have like so much shit left to do.
Oh, dude, because all I've been doing is mindlessly exploring the land. I can't do anything else.
Like GTA.
No, dude. I mean, I easily dropped about 100 hours in that game. I didn't stream all of my play. I probably streamed about 70% of what I played of it, but
okay.
I lost track of how many times I streamed that game. It was a lot.
Okay. By the way, the brand name for this replacement dock is Basstop, BASSTOP. And I believe it's on Amazon for $15-20. It's super cheap.
I think that's the same company that makes those Pro controller shells.
I think you are correct.
I need to get one of those.
Me too. I actually need to go pick one up from test. Super Smash Brothers is a game that I have not played enough of, but that I like a lot. Towerfall. We played some Towerfall in St. Louis with the homies. We were playing with Joy-Cons, and it was actually kind of an enjoyable experience with Joy-Cons.
There you go.
I forgot to bring the bumpers that you slide onto the Joy-Cons when they're not docked. That was my fault. I'm sure it'd be a little bit better of an experience. They do make like silicone things that you can pop Joy-Cons into that just make it a little bit easier to hold. Does anybody have any experience with those?
I wanted to get those when I was still in high school and we were going hardcore, but I've never ended up getting them.
Okay. Golf Story. Definitely one of my most favorite games. Super Mario Brothers Deluxe U, which was a Wii U game remastered or ported over to the Switch. Local co-op. It's one of the Weenie and I's favorite games to play together. We played on the plane. It was dope. And that's kind of it for games on the Switch so far. I purchased Super Mario Party to prepare for my vacation, and I was so disappointed in that game.
Yeah, I agree. It's very disappointing compared to past ones. It's super passive. Like, it's not as aggressive, like, fuck you, I'm going to steal all your coins or your stars or whatever. And it's like, even if you get something bad in that game, it's not like terrible. Like in the past games, you would have all of these things that are really shitty, and then, or you could lose a star. And now it's just like, oh, let me just give you a little spanking real quick. You go on your way, young man.
Fucking participation trophy bullshit.
Yeah. After that game came out, I had went back on Dolphin and I played Mario Party 7, I want to say. That game, you get fucked.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bad if you...
No mercy.
It's like first to last, almost every turn.
I was very disappointed in the mini games, most of all. And if you just want to go and play video games or mini games, it's super cumbersome. They have a couple modes, but it's like if I just want to play Mario Party mini games, it's like super cumbersome, and that was super disappointing. So I would have refunded it if I could have, but I'm stuck with it for now. So
you have one refund on your Nintendo account. I don't know. Most people don't know that because they don't advertise it. But if you call the support line and talk to the dude, they'll even tell you it's like, oh, this is your one and only time. Because that happened to me on the last sale they had. I think it was when Evo was going on. So like a month or two ago, I bought Dragon Ball Fighters on the Switch, and I was gonna buy the DLC pass. I was gonna get the deluxe version and then get the DLC pass separate. But I accidentally bought the wrong one. I bought the base game. So I called them. They refunded it, and I just bought it again.
Okay.
Hey, I totally forgot to bring this up, and you might have said it, and it went over my head. But did we mention that new Zelda game's coming out? Like the remake of
Link's Awakening. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Link to the Past, kind of, right?
Yeah. When we were watching Nintendo Direct, Weenie's response was, "It's so cute!"
Doesn't that come out this year? Coming out soon, doesn't it?
Very soon, yeah.
It comes out in the next month or two.
Yeah, October or November, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it's closer to the Pokemon release date, but I can't say for certain.
Awakening, right?
Yeah, Link's Awakening, because that was originally a Game Boy game. But it was completely 2D, so they've redone everything.
Yeah, and I remember playing that on Game Boy, and it was a lot of fun. So I think that's one I'll probably pick up for sure.
Is it as hard as Link to the Past?
It's similar.
Because Link to the Past does not hold your hand one fucking bit.
No, but I mean they modernized shit. I'm sure it's probably not as difficult.
Yeah, with the graphics, I couldn't imagine them like just throwing you in there. It looks like it's intended to be a beginner friendly game.
Okay. But yeah, as somebody who I don't think played Link's Awakening at all, that's a title I definitely will be picking up for the Switch. And it's actually in the Twitch Nintendo shop right now. You can pre-order, but you shouldn't. But it's there. So it means it's coming out soon. All right, answers from the chat. First one from Von Gerstenberg, right? Gerstenberg? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mario Maker 2. I'm a sucker for old school retro as an accessory. Pro controller, most def. That is something that I bought. Again, aside from my joystick woes, I do have the Super Smash Brothers Pro controller. I love the look of it. I do like the look of the all black one a little bit more. Jimmy is showing his inferior Joy-Cons currently on screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get the green shell for mine. The see-through green one.
Ooh, yeah. We were talking about this in Discord this past week. I want to get 4 8-bit DOE controllers to travel with because I don't want to get Joy-Cons. And I don't want to get 4 Pro controllers because that'll set me back $250. I think I'm going to get the controller that Jimmy has in his hand. I think it's the 8BitDo 30 Pro, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, it's the 8BitDo N30 Pro. And they have a couple different versions of this. I like the one that's got like the NES look on the front.
Yep.
But this is a fantastic controller. Like the D-pad feels really good. It has the two Z, L, and Z. It has the two buttons on top, and it has analog sticks, which I've never really used because I usually mainly use this for when I emulate stuff. I use this controller, but I know I can use it for my Switch. I just never have used it for my Switch.
Okay. I actually lied. You have the N30, which you said. I think I have my eyes on the Super Nintendo version of yours, which is the SN30 Pro G.
It's the same thing. It's pretty much the same.
Looks like just a little bit bigger and bigger joysticks is really all it looks like.
Yeah.
But I don't feel comfortable like bringing the Switch to places and like handing people a Joy-Con and be like, here, prove to me how good you are at video games. I would rather give them like a decent controller. And I think the SN30 Pros only run like $40 a pop. I would rather drop $120 on 3 of those than $240 or $250 on 4 Pro controllers. And I also want the portable factor of the 8BitDo controllers, because trying to travel with 4 of these in a suitcase is going to be a little bit more of a problem. Should I bring all of my GameCube controllers to TwitchCon?
How many do you have?
I have 6.
Jesus, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get one.
If you have more than one,
I have 2. I have
Okay.
a third one that's kind of jank.
okay.
So I would say probably bring a couple if you can, because I don't know what people will like.
Actually, and this was my first 8BitDo product.
Hey,
was
I got
the,
that too.
the wireless adapter. Can you use 4 of these wirelessly with a Switch?
Yeah.
No
'Cause
shit.
it pretty much acts like
Oh.
these are the same. Like this would be a third-party wireless controller. Same thing with the 8BitDo adapter. So it just recognizes it as a controller. So you can
Got it.
technically use 8 of them. I don't know why you would, but
Okay. So how about you bring 2 GameCube controllers? I will bring 2 GameCube and the GameCube adapter.
well, I got the adapter. It's no problem.
Okay.
Well, which one do you have? You have the official one, don't you?
I have 8 game controllers and I got an adapter. Oh, I got a Wavebird. Ooh.
Oh, I'll suck dick for a Wavebird.
Because I have the Mayflash one. So
Okay.
whichever.
Okay. Word.
Or if you want, we can bring both.
Oh, baby. Test out the latency. Get real nerdy with it.
There's something else I was gonna say. I think we're all bringing Pro controllers too, so there'll be plenty of options.
Also, I totally lied. That was Platform Playa that said Mario Maker 2, not
Wow.
Vaughn. So I'm sorry. The only way I can collect your goddamn answers from chat is if you put them into CSV format, and then I have to use a free CSV viewer in order to view your questions. And every time you guys put a fucking comma, it separates it into another column. So the viewer has to be spread across all my monitors so I can see your answers. Stop using commas.
Sorry for trying to be grammatically correct, knackers.
I know. I need somebody I will pay money to somebody that can build me a tool that can take people's answers from chat without having to be a CSV. If there's anybody out there that can do this for me, please contact me. I'll suck your dick. Vaughn actually said hardware pro controller. Yeah, right. Hardware pro controller, favorite owned games, Super Mario Maker 2, Breath of the Wild, Doom, new favorite, River City Girls.
I think that's a newer game.
What is that?
It's like
Yeah.
he was telling me about it the other day. It's like River City Ransom. It's like kind of
Yeah.
like a spiritual sequel or successor to that sort of game. It's supposed to be solid. I'm gonna check it out.
Okay.
I'm gonna check it out. Yeah.
Beer Balot said Nintendo account to access any online feature. So that was in response to us talking about Nintendo Online and whether or not you needed an online account or not. Tempest Born said expiring authentication token. I don't know what that was, but thank you.
He expired.
Tempest, if you wanna clarify in chat, I see you active right there. Okay, moving on to the questions of the Q&A. I have questions from 4 different people that were from earlier when I was doing a Rocket League stream, and I forgot to turn off the question command. And they all say, "Hey, cutie, what are you doing after stream? You sons of bitches."
Oh.
And now I just accidentally organized them by username, and they're no. Okay, give me a hot second here, chat. I'm sorry. This is why I need to find somebody that can code me something, because this is so cumbersome, and I need to
Wouldn't
just
be a
not.
podcast without some difficulties.
Good lord.
Are you not doing like? Isn't there a way to do those sorts of things directly from the Streambot?
I thought so too.
Because that's. I'm pretty sure you could just
It
type.
just puts it in like a text file or something.
That's
Well,
how
I
I do it now. Are you saying like view it inside the bot?
Well, like, yeah, because like I know in my chatbot, like for example, like when I do Mario Maker levels, I just add that and then it saves the text after what you put in for whatever your command is for if you're adding. So if you're
What if I have multiple commands?
well, that's what makes it tricky because I just do the one.
So I think that's probably why I haven't gone that route.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. First question from, you know what, Ernest, I think your first question did not get. Nope, it did. Okay. Ernst Blowfield asks, would you rather have dick-sized nipples or nipple-sized dick?
Dick-sized nipples for sure.
Yeah.
Can I fuck people with my nipple dicks?
It's a whole lot easier to fix dick-sized nipples than it is for nipple-sized dick.
Dude,
Get me a scalpel.
Right, you can always shave off your nips. Can I fuck people with my erect dick nipples? Because if so, I'll take those for sure.
Do they have nuts too?
It's a fucking 5-way, bro.
Hey, yeah. I would definitely rather have dick-sized nipples for sure. I just give me a normal-sized penis because anything's better than what I have now. Next question, also from Ernst. Time isn't real. It's only a way for humans to describe motion. So, question. How would you use so many commas, you fuck? How would you envision a world where humans didn't invent the concept of time to describe motion? What would be the biggest difficulty?
Scheduling.
Let's fuck with our
no
dick
calendar.
nipples. Right, no calendars whatsoever.
We wouldn't know a lot. That would be terrible.
How would you
I mean,
envision
at
a
the end
world?
of the day, it's just humans have a ridiculous need to classify and quantify every single thing around them. So I feel like the concept of time is an eventuality. Like,
True.
Somebody's going to invent it at some point.
Right,
Gotta
like
have some sort of order.
when the
Yeah.
sun is down,
Yeah,
we do the
every
dirty.
concept
I mean,
of
that's all
time
started.
was gone. There'd be no tomorrow, no yesterday, no your age wouldn't matter, like none of that shit. So I feel like the concept of time has been around damn near as long as humans have.
Right. I find it hard to envision a time where we don't have time, pun intended. Ironic word use there. I would feel like our lives would be way less stressful if we didn't live by time, right? And then there would be no age. There would be no schedules, no calendars. Everything would just happen as it happened. But like the concept of having babies, like how do babies always come out at the same time? Like what? This doesn't make sense. Every like 9,
That's
well,
what
we
I'm
wouldn't have
saying.
months, right?
Why is that person getting saggy?
Yeah. The elders.
The elders.
What do they have that I don't have?
Jimmy, any final points on that?
No.
I didn't know if he answered or not. Okay. Next question from Starving Buddha. Do you think Jimmy can beat every motherfucker here in an arm wrestling or rock, paper, scissors?
Definitely beat me in arm wrestling.
I mean, he's got dad strength, so I would have to imagine that gets him pretty far. Have you ever had to physically restrain a student?
Not recently,
Okay.
but in the past, yeah.
Okay. From like fights, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Has anybody come after you, like trying to attack you?
Not yet.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
No.
I would imagine
Not
you just
really.
fucking falcon punch
Not
them
on-
right in the face.
Not on purpose.
That's when the concept of anything as a weapon comes into play for him.
Right.
Yeah.
He's just gonna reverse it back on them.
John Wick with a number 2 pencil.
Well, there's like a law, like in Texas. I don't know what it's like in other states, but basically, I mean, as long as you're not trying to, you know, you can, if you have to subdue someone or whatever, like you can't really be sued if you're not going above and beyond trying to, like, you know, like I'm not gonna go out and start punching people in the face. Obviously, that's not subduing someone.
Love to see that.
Like,
I
like you
should shut
can't
the
be
fuck up.
if you're trying to like get a student away from like another student or whatever, and you know grab them and you know chuck them aside, and
Hell
maybe
yeah.
maybe they separate their shoulder or something happens, like I can't be sued because they were trying to hurt somebody else.
Okay.
You know?
See, I like that because like the kids at my school would just go crazy, and then the teachers couldn't do anything because then their parents would get mad. It's like, dude, this kid literally just beat the death out of this person.
Yeah.
What else am I supposed to do?
You know, it's always
Yeah.
so funny. Like, when I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see like fight accounts that are just retweeting fight videos, kids will wail on each other for like 2 minutes straight, and then they come out of the fight walking, no blood, no bruises, no like inflation or not inflation, swelling. Like their hits are so fucking weak that nobody actually gets hurt. And it looks like they are just wailing on each other as hard as they can. And nobody's like physically phased whatsoever. That always makes me laugh. Stupid fucking kids.
Yeah,
They're so
that's
weak.
why you watch World Star, because World Star is just people like committing first-degree murder.
Yep. Kimbo
Yes,
Slice. Don't
That's a
fuck
fucking
around.
And
Psychos,
documenting it.
man. Yeah, and 10 people videoing while they do it. It's like, hey, this guy just scuffed my shoe up. Kill him.
Kill him.
Beat them while he's down.
Tempest clarified on his thing. I'm sorry, my fucking method of collecting things from chat sucks, Twitch. I'll work on it. Nintendo Switch Online games are secured with an expiring authentication token. You have to log on every few days, 7 in this case, I believe, to keep the token refreshed. If it runs out, it knocks out your access.
Internet gang.
Internet gang, 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 gang. Tempest, thank you very much for clarifying that and giving me that info. Next question. This question is for Jimmy. If the Industrial Revolution changed the face of modern novel forever, could you discuss giving specific examples of how the Industrial Revolution really changed the face of modern novel forever? Can you elaborate and give any specific examples?
This reminds me of a story about a puppy.
So that question is actually from Billy Madison, I think
Yep.
it is.
100%.
Yeah. So I think it's just a joke question, but the history teacher in me will tell you that there were a lot of literary responses to the criticism of all the things that happened during the Industrial Revolution, like the impact on the environment, for one, child labor laws or the lack of them would be another one, and then also the availability of, if you're talking about non-specific to the literature itself, you have the availability of more books because now you have more printing presses as a result of the Industrial Revolution. So hopefully those 3 answers are specific enough for you. There you go.
I give you an A+.
And who would have
thanks.
thunk all the lies that would get printed into the United States history textbooks?
No,
And
Like
Twitter.
us going to the moon. I didn't say it. We had a fun conversation. My mom was asking me about something, and I started getting into like conspiracy theories. The first one, not trying to offend anybody. The first one that came about was 9/11 an inside job, and then I started telling my mom about like the Rothschild family, and then we got into like the secret assassinations of the Kennedy family, or not Kennedy. Oh my God, I got my dick sucked in the Oval Office, dude. What's his fucking name?
Clinton?
Clinton, the Clinton Foundation, and how many like people disappearing are attached. Like, and I was just going down this rabbit hole, and I
Yeah,
saw
like
my
that
fucking
last guy.
mom's brain just melting.
Jeffrey Epstein fucking
That whole shit.
That's
hung
nuts.
himself in suicide watch with nothing in his cell and nobody around.
Right. And she was like, her head was spinning, but at the same time, she was like, why? She was genuinely concerned why I was spending so much time. Like, I never really look into these conspiracy theories. They're just like random
It's just a
YouTube
known
videos that come through, whatever.
You
She's
follow Eddie Bravo on fucking
right.
Twitter.
Look into it, dude. Look into it.
Yeah,
But
Google it, man.
It was
Google
just so funny because my mom thinks I'm a pretty good kid and she thinks I'm pretty stable. And then I just started unloading all these conspiracy theories and the doubt I just saw just like rising. I could see it in her eyes. Good times.
Crazy.
Last question from Tempest Born. Rocket League is not the only toxic game out there. Where do you normally find your teammates for streams? I'll answer this last.
I have actually never co-streamed ever. Like,
Not yet.
not yet. We'll leave it at that. Not yet. Winky face. So I've played a few games with other people that doesn't really involve so much like the back and forth with like talking so much, but yeah, never actually co-streamed with another streamer. So maybe soon be co-streaming with somebody else. We'll see. So
we'll spin this a different way. How did you go about finding yourself here now? Like how did you end up finding people like-minded, handsome, smart, very intelligent?
Well, what do you mean?
How did you go about finding a good group of people? Like you obviously have a good group of streamers that you are confident talking on social media with, being here and being able to have difficult conversations with other people. How did you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. It just takes time, trial and error. You kind of get a vibe. I mean, some people. I guess I don't know. Me personally, after I've spent, I maybe a couple months around somebody. I mean, not physically in the same location, but sort of kind of seen how they are on social media and on Twitch and whatnot. If we're talking about the Twitch platform here,
best part about social media,
I kind of catch a vibe, I guess I could say. And if I feel like they mesh well with me, then I feel a lot more comfortable talking to them, I guess. So I guess I know that's probably not the greatest answer in the world, but just gotta trust your vibes, guys.
Absolutely.
Trust your vibes. Yeah.
And to expand off of what you said, again, I try my best not to get involved in like Twitter drama, but I had a moment of weakness this past week or so, and kind of tweeted something along the lines of, I'm sick of people saying on Twitter that the Twitch is such a fake world and that you okay there, Jimbo? Trying to rip that off. I hate when people say like Twitch is filled with nothing but people who are out to get theirs. Like people are so fake. All I run into is fake people. And my response to that is maybe it's you. Maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're the fake person. Maybe the people that you attract are the fake assholes that are only out to expand on themselves instead of trying to find a group of people. And I think with what Jimmy is saying, with our age of social media and Twitch and broadcasting, you can get a really good idea about somebody by watching their stream, seeing how not only how they act on social media, but how they choose to use their social media. Do they only use social media to like tag big companies when they're trying to get shout outs? Are they only just posting going live tweets and not spending any time to interact with other people, other streamers, other friends? Does somebody only use their Instagram to take pictures of themselves and never do anything else? Or do you see them trying to create and post valuable content that is valuable for the consumer and is not a benefit for themselves? And it's really, really easy to get to the bottom of somebody's core just from watching them from afar. Now, again, you have to be careful not to judge a book by its cover. You can't like see a week of somebody's Twitter and go, I hate this person. I already know everything about them. But if you spend weeks, months, years observing how somebody acts, the great thing is when people lash out on Twitter, it's usually, again, like me, it's in a moment of weakness. How do they act when they're vulnerable? How do they act when they're cornered? You can get a really good idea about somebody.
Well, and there's some people that I actually really adore and care for in real life that I'm not a huge fan of them on social media at all. So, like you just said, you can't judge a book by its cover. I mean, the way people are on social media is not always an indicator of how they are in person. And a lot of times,
most of the time, it's not.
Yeah,
They try and glorify themselves a lot.
Yeah. Or just they're very outspoken in social media when they're not
True.
really that way in person, you know?
True.
So,
See, I see that as the opposite. I don't see social media as a way for them to disguise who they are. I see it as exposing who they are. 100%.
Well,
a
eventually it'll
smart
always come out.
person, a smart person could easily disguise who they are on any social media.
In the short term.
But in the short term. But eventually somebody's going to get pissed. I mean, at the end of the day, if the question is how do you find people to stream with, number one, you have to fucking trust these people. Like the way he's talking about looking at somebody for months and years and shit. Like I've known Knackers since 2014. So that's 5 years. And even though we weren't in the military together, it was basically we were in the fucking trenches of a really fucked up ass adminning job, basically, for a separate community. And it was a lot of high drama, a lot of fake people, a lot of fucking immature, toxic people, and that you're constantly fighting off. And then at the end of it, you just come out of it and you're like, okay, there's like 6-7 fucking people that I'm cool with playing video games with them for the rest of my life.
Yep.
But the biggest thing is just knowing the person that you're streaming with.
Right.
Because the last thing you want is to find fucking the true Jakester or whatever the fuck that asshole's name was in Rocket League earlier.
Yeah, for real.
And have him on your fucking stream.
Now, I know that Vans and Salty, you guys are both going to kind of have similar answers to me because, well, actually, Salty, our introduction was because of a Twitch stream, not because of the gaming community where we spent so much time, right?
Yeah, because we hadn't started playing together until after Altus Life died.
Right. So a Twitch stream,
and
a Twitch stream is what brought you, like you and I together, but it was the gaming in the gaming community that we did that actually like started to build a relationship.
Well, that's how I found your channel, was because of GSN. So.
Yep. Vance, have you made any friends from Twitch streaming that that you've kind of had? What?
Only the ones that Salty has pointed me to. I think I was actually watching your streams before I actually was in GSN.
No shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because I think he had told me something like, "Oh, this dude's funny as shit." Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Let me see."
Let me see.
It just kind of clicked, and then eventually GSN. And I think the big thing for me meeting you in 42 was Rocket League. And a lot of people, but Rocket League was really the one that kind of put it in.
Yep. I think I have sort of like an unsatisfying answer to this question. Most people who will give advice to people getting into streaming as a new hobby is build the friendships before you go live. Hang out with the group of people consistently, find the people that you vibe with, so that when you finally do have an option to go live and start building a community following on Twitch, you have people already so that you aren't like yourself on a deserted island. Just another streamer in this sea of streamers. For those of you that don't know my backstory, I was alongside with Mr. Vansman and Salty, was a part of a gaming community called GSN that started out as just a PC. Yeah, he's got a fucking sign back there.
Thanks to Salty.
It started as a local only Michigan gaming community, evolved into an online discussion board forum and kind of community for the game. And then we eventually started hosting servers for Half-Life 2, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Arma, Altus, RP servers and stuff. And so I had a long history of playing games with people offline. And by that I mean I'm off stream. And then Twitch kind of came up. Twitch came around for me, my brother, and the community around 2012, 2013. My brother got into it a little bit earlier than I did. And so I had all of those relationships before streaming was a thing. And so I understand that there's like this film or fishnet if you will, over like trying to meet people who are streaming, because you are gonna run into a lot of people who are trying to grow a stream, and there are people who are going to it's not that they don't think about meeting friends, it's that they're going to prioritize growing over making friends, at least at first, because they think that that's the only way that they can grow is by just like aiming for the growth and chasing the strategies and the tactics that involve growth instead of streaming. What I'll say is that, along with what Jimmy said, you can get a vibe from people, and if you stream enough and you have people in your stream enough in chat, you can kind of get a vibe for how somebody is. And a certain amount of time, and after a certain amount of community nights, you can get a good idea of who a person is and if you vibe with them. There's been plenty of people. One of the outstanding people in my mind is Conbot. Conbot was somebody that strolled into my stream randomly one day. He asked for a webcam overlay. I sent it to him. And then on New Year's Eve, we were all plastered playing Call of Duty, Black Ops 4. And then he joined and started playing with us because it was just an open invite. And I've hung out with Conbot twice now in real life. And, we've played games together. And it's just kind of like trial and error. Now, the amount of people that I've played with on stream and off stream from Twitch, the negative interactions heavily outweigh the positive ones. Yeah. Because it's just like when you're the streamer and you have a community, the amount of people that want to play with you heavily outweigh the people that you want to play with. And it's just kind of like trial and error. So, like I said, I feel like that's not like a very satisfying answer, and it's kind of hard to say because of the negative experiences that I've had. But if you take time to try and meet people outside of streams, like if you have other Discords that do offline gaming where people just group up, like I've seen people that group up in the gaming channel in my Discord when I'm not even streaming. It has nothing to do with me. They're just playing together. Feel free to use, people's Discord. Sometimes they have like looking for gamers channels where you can say, hey, I'm trying to play some Battlefield. Is anybody game? And you can have some good luck there as well. But it's a lot of poking around and kind of trial and error, I will say for sure.
For sure.
Any final points on that?
Nope.
Right.
Negative.
Oh, the one thing I totally forgot that we played Black Ops 4 on New Year's. That seems like yesterday.
It really does, doesn't it?
So nuts, yeah.
I had a blast playing it too. I had a lot of fun playing that.
I love Black Ops 4. It's just such a big damn game.
Yeah, and I think I would like to play it again. I don't have any interest in playing Blackout like the Battle Royale, but I would kind of like to play the multiplayer.
The multiplayer was fun as fuck. The only thing that sucked were those ults. Like they were so OP.
Yeah, I got fucked by those a lot.